I guess so. I mean, I always try to find the ball just like everybody else. But every once in a while, it is going to roll my way. And if it doesn't, you still have to play ball and just have faith that one day it's going to.
TK, I'd like you to reflect a little bit. We were talking with Derek Barnett the other day about the recruiting class and how many of you players from in-state in that class stayed in state. He said you were kind of the ringleader of that, talking with the other recruits. I mean, how much of a plan was it for you to try and keep these other great players in state? And what do you remember about being able to rally so many great players at a time when maybe Tennessee didn't look like the best program in the SEC?
It was a big plan of mine, especially when I decided to commit here. During the recruiting process, I wasn't sure if I was going to come here or not. And when I made that decision, I told myself that I wanted to play with guys like me, high-character guys that love the game of football and also love Tennessee football. And with that in mind, I tried to focus on talking to the in-state guys that I knew of, guys that had talent, but also had high character factor. And I got in touch with the Derek Barnetts, the Sean Baldwins, the Jalen Hurts, the Josh Malones, the people that really wanted to turn Tennessee around. And now that I feel like we're all upperclassmen, I feel like we can make a difference for this state and this team.
Was it a lot of texting? I mean, was it searching out people's Twitter address? I mean, just how concentrated an effort was it? I mean, were there actually nights where you would focus on trying to get all these guys going?
Yeah, I mean, at one point I said whatever it takes because I want to turn this program around. I feel like we've set it up now. It's our job to just finish the job. We're already set up. We have everything in plan, and now we just have to take hold of it and take it for what it's worth.
TK, it seems like you guys have a lot of guys in the secondary that can play and will play. How can that help you guys as a group, and especially when there doesn't appear to be that big of a drop-off if other guys are coming in?
Right, well, like I said before, I don't feel like there's a drop-off. With that depth, allows you to give your all out there and know that if something goes wrong or if you do make a mistake, that you have a guy that can come in, make that same mistake coming up and correct it for you. And it's a learning process for all of us. So, there's not a lot of people say there's guaranteed starters, but you never know. Whether you're coming in, coming out of the game, it's not really about starting. It's about whose finishes and who helps along the way. So I feel like us having that versatility and that depth allows people to have an impact in the game.
How much of you and some of the other guys try to help Nigel along, kind of learning the defense? That's physically, I guess he's pretty gifted, but it's just kind of a process of him learning the defense. How much of you and some of the other guys try to help him in that aspect?
Yeah, he's very gifted. I saw from the first day when he ran and made plays all around the field, just his body fluidity, just moving around the field totally. He's an incredible athlete. And it kind of reminded me of myself because I'm a junior and he's a freshman. And just thinking of those two older guys that were safeties when I first got here, Brian Randolph and Miguel McNeil. I kind of try to remind myself of how it was when I got here and what I'd want it to be like as a freshman. And with that being said, I kind of stepped back, thought about it, and then tried to help him any way I could. And if he had any questions, any concerns, I made sure that I was there for him. And I can see that he's maturing just in this short time that he's been here.
Kid, you played with your dad played with Dale Carter, not just Dad. Have y'all talked about that?
I talked a little bit to my dad about him. He just told me how much of a freak on the field he was, how much of a freak athlete. I asked him who was better, him or Eric Berry, and he said it was hard to describe just because they're both great athletes. They had kind of similar game playing styles, but at the same time they were both freaks of nature. So he said that Nigel kind of reminded him of Dale, just the body shape and form and really his special features as well. So I'd like to meet Mr. Carter and just talk about Nigel and kind of learn more about him.
So Nigel's a freak athlete, sort of like his dad, is what your dad was saying.
Yeah, that's what I said.
What you say?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Nigel's a freak. Yeah.
Did you go and watch highlights of Dale or had you watched him before?
Yeah, I had watched him before. I kind of try to go back and just watch all the legacies, defensive backs that have had a big say in the Tennessee program, and he's definitely one of them. He was a playmaker. A lot of people know he won Rookie of the Year his first year, so he's a baller, and I definitely take notes from him. He's a great player.
Going back to the question you asked earlier, how good of a recruiter were you? I mean, did you get 9 out of 10 players you went after? What was your percentage? Do you remember?
I wouldn't call myself the primary recruiter. I call myself more of a supporter, and just really a mentee for a lot of guys that really had no clue of what this program was offering and what all we had in place. But a lot of people see now how far we've come. We still have a long way to go. But I know that the guys that bought in, they believe the same thing that I believe, that Tennessee is one of the top programs in the country and we want to make it known.